I'd like to share a story with you today about how I returned to the classroom after 15 years and how I felt like a failure, a rookie all over again. I clearly recall the reasons I was disillusioned and had left the classroom and was actually quite happy with the challenges of my new career. That wasn't until last August when I was given an opportunity to attend a mindfulness leadership retreat. It gave me an opportunity to ask some questions of myself, to reflect. When was the last time that I was inspired at work? And what am I doing in my downtime? The questions that arose surprised me, and I have no idea how I didn't notice, but in my heart and my core, I was an educator. And if I wanted to see the changes I dreamt of all those years ago, I needed to get back into the game. Thank you, sorry. So after this epiphany, I did resign, and I got a job back in a junior primary classroom with a cohort of learners that included lots, of learning and behaviour needs. It's probably a typical classroom you're in today. I made a conscious effort to emulate the current teacher that was working in there, the practices, the routines and the program, to ensure that there was consistency for the learners. At the end of the first day, my throat was killing me and I was exhausted. And I went home thinking, insert a swear word there, shivers, maybe I've made a big mistake. Maybe teaching and I aren't as good of friends as I thought. But what if we were? Wouldn't that be awesome? And it was in that moment that I recalled some advice that I was given when I resigned. To just take the next right step. Don't look too far forward, and then the next right step after that. So that night, I decided to lean into the fear, embrace being a rookie again, giving an opportunity to ask some questions, to pause and wonder. Wonder about that quiet child I noticed that was unable to be heard. The diligent child that I noticed couldn't concentrate. The numerous disruptive children that were unable to learn. And what could I do differently? And what was going to be the problem if I did do things differently? Maybe we wouldn't cover the content of the program that had been delivered for a little while. I thought it was worth the risk to try and bring some joy and enable opportunities to grow for these children. Now, taking the time to pause and wonder at that moment enabled me to realise that we're driven by emotion, not reason, and that learning is joyful and addictive when we are connected to our senses and to each other. That's when it's personally rewarding. And I needed to find a way to help school be a place where every child's heart could sing. My next day in the classroom started with me actually sharing honestly these wonderings I'd had about whether I'd made a mistake. And I started to notice a shift with the students almost immediately. I spent time with every child and I listened. I shared with them what I thought was great about each one. And I asked questions of them like, what would you like me to notice about you today? And then I made sure that if it happened, I noticed it and I let them know. A quick side tip, if you didn't notice it and it didn't happen, don't say it did, because kids are smart consumers and they know. I stopped trying to be a carbon copy of the teacher I was sharing a classroom with and started explicitly verbalising my joy of being in the room with them. We started creating these collective moments of joy, these shared habits of time together, like an 11 o'clock walk and learning with our shoes off for the afternoon. Opportunities for learning and joy started multiplying. Taking the time to pause and wonder has made a great impact on my teaching practice, and I encourage you to give it a try. I also think it's worth asking our learners, on their best day, the day they came home from school and said, I go to the best school on the planet, what did they do that day? And really listen to the answer. What can we do differently so that every learner has their best day every day? I'm grateful I get to witness that joy and curiosity every day now in the eyes of a 7-year-old child. And I challenge you to worry less and wonder more. Stop worrying about planning content to cover and your things to do list that never stops. Maybe try being a rookie again and asking some questions. Try and connect with the learners. Remember, learning is addictive when it's joyful. And I wonder if the learning space you occupy is full of joy and wonder. Thank you.